Hello and blessings, beautiful Coven of the Witch Weaver. My beautiful witches, I would like to welcome you into the space of the sparkling earth. And what I mean by that whimsical title is that we are going to be delving into the magic, the meaning, the structure of crystals and stones and rocks. Today's little audio video is a short pathworking and meditation that will aid you in connecting with the earth. You can use this pathworking or meditation as a form of grounding and connecting to the deepest energies of earth, to restabilize, to center, to feel connected, and also to drain any negative energies, viruses, illnesses, or poor thought patterns that may be coursing through your body. And so this pathworking is as much a healing meditation as it is a means of discovery. I wanted to begin this pathworking by saying that we are all connected to the earth in different ways. There are some who truly venerate the energy of crystals and stones and our earth allies that reside in such forms. And there are others who simply do not connect to crystals as seen through the modern age and or the new age perspective. Truth be told, crystals and stones have been used over millennia. Egyptian priests would venerate lapis amongst others. They would crush down those stones and use that indigo blue as a form of ink. The indigenous New Zealander, the Maori, they venerate a green stone, a type of jade, and it is fashioned into intricate symbols and patterns in keeping with their traditions. The sacred site of Stonehenge is comprised of Preseli bluestone, and as such holds an inherent energy that is the living, breathing magic of the Celtic landscape. Stones exist everywhere. Pyramids are made up of it. Sacred sites are made up of it. And then they are littered throughout the landscape and hold that magic to the point where we can be trudging through a nature spot and stumble across a configuration of stones that may seem haphazard at first glance, but that hold such an inherent energy. Such places are considered power places, sacred power points in the landscape. And a witch can attune to these landscapes and these power points and create incredible magic. So with that said, I ask that you find yourself in a comfortable position. Be that a chair or a bed, anywhere that you feel truly cozy. I don't want you to place restrictions on yourself for this one. If you feel like curling up or sitting cross-legged, then please do. There are times within my path workings and meditations where I need the energy to flow through you in a particular way, and so I will ask you not to cross your limbs. Whereas in this particular situation, it is perfectly acceptable because crystals have a myriad of matrices within themselves, bridges and lattice patterns at their very core on a microscopic level. And so by crossing your limbs, you are mimicking the same or similar configurations as a crystal's internal structure. Pretty cool, right? And so find that comfy position. It may be beneficial for you to have your Coven crystal close by. In fact, if you would like to place that in your hand or perhaps on your lap, I would recommend on your lap so that you don't have to continue to hold onto it, which takes a conscious effort. I want the placement of that stone to feel unconscious and just simply be. You may also want to have your Coven journal and pen close by for the end of this particular path working. You do not want to be warm or cold here. You want to be in a particular type of temperature. Perhaps what I should have said then is you do not want to be hot. You do want to be warm, so I apologize for that. So get super cozy. Find yourself under a little blanket if the weather permits it, of course. If it's a really sweltering type of day in your neck of the woods, then of course omit that. You may want to create a ritual space for yourself. A space with just a very subtle hint of incense or perhaps a light aromatic spray. Perhaps you would like to create a beautiful ritual drink for yourself. Perhaps a cup of tea or something else that is soothing. Hot chocolate or cocoa or some kind of delicious spicy chai may be suitable. And so I do apologize for any background noise. I am, of course, off-grid. There are dogs that will bark, there are chickens that will cluck, roosters that will crow, cats that will meow, and crows that will caw. And there is absolutely nothing I can do about those nature sounds. They are part of this landscape, and I hope that you appreciate how natural of a setting I do reside in. Now that we have got all of that chatter out of the way, and that you are comfortable, I encourage you to close your eyes. Focus on your breath. Do not control your breath. Aim instead to just observe it. Continue to observe your breath as much and for as long as you can throughout this process. The key to this path working is subtlety, not control. You want to be like earth and water, moving and dancing. I now ask that you step into a visualization. See before you a crystal cave. I want you to be able to envision that beautiful cluster type of structure. It looks kindred to a geode. And you can see it. It's not something that you can fully walk into. It is like a geode in itself. It is something that is immense. It towers over you. Take note of what kind of stone it is. As you begin to walk into the cavity of the geode, you want to touch. Every part of you wants to touch that spiky, rocky surface. You want to feel the energy. Beneath your feet exists this geode. You are inside of it, inside its cavity. Behind you is a familiar space to you. In front of you is nothing but this crystal cluster. You place both hands out to touch that crystal cluster. and you feel the energy. Primal, wild, nurturing, grounding, shape-shifting, magical energy coursing through your hands. Each and every time you breathe, so too do you breathe in that energy. You observe the images that flash in your mind's eye. Breathe deeply. Breathe with purpose and intention. Keep your hands fixed to the stone. Feel its rocky landscape. Observe every detail, every flash, every symbol, every feeling, every scent. The more you immerse yourself into this experience, the more you feel the rock vibrating underhand. You breathe. Each breath, that vibration increases, and slowly you feel the rock itself beginning to crumble. Particles of crystal float out like snow. So light, so delicate. A doorway reveals itself before you, and where your hands once were is nothing but space. Within that space is a radiant light, a bridge made of stone and crystals. The cavity is immense. You've never seen anything like this before. A cornucopia of stones of all different shapes, sizes, and resonance. There is an audible hum in the background, the sound of resonance, the sound of magic. You continue to walk forth on that crystal bridge, admiring the landscape around you. It is impossible to tear your eyes away. Finally, you gaze forth, and standing before you is a guide. Take note of your guide. What does your guide look like, feel like, smell like? Your guide reaches out their hand, and you take it, forming a connection, a bond. You feel that your guide is a form of guardian. And you speak with it for a length of time. When you are ready, You bid your guide farewell. You tell your guide that you will be back. You will be back many times. You feel the time has come to turn around, and so you do. And you begin to walk back to the entrance of this crystal cave. You pause for a moment to glance backwards at your guide, but your guide has completely disappeared. A smile creeps across your face. You know that you will see your guide once more. You continue forward until you reach the entry point, the geode. You can see your common space, the place where you began this meditation, and you turn once more only to find that the geode has closed and that the rocky, brilliant surface has returned. You caress it but for a moment, thanking it for its magical energy, for its wisdom, for its clarity, its power. You thank it for its healing. And you return to your position, to where you were when you began this meditation. When you are ready, you open your eyes. Now stretch your limbs, move around, and grab that pen and that paper and furiously write down what it is that you have just experienced. If, for whatever reason, you did not have an intense pathworking experience, then you are always welcome to return to this pathworking at a later date. Pluto is in retrograde at this moment in time, and so if you are having some kind of a disconnect, it may be because your planets are suffering in some unbeknownst way. And so be gentle on yourself. You can return to this place, to this space, and to your guide at any point. This meditation is yours to use as you see fit. Use it well. And there you have it, beautiful souls. Your introduction into stone allies. Next week, I will have a comprehensive blog post for you, written by a good friend of mine who is a sort of expert when it comes to crystals. With all of that said and done, I am wishing you so much love, luck, peace, and joy. Have an amazing day. Much love, many blessings.